A lot of us have way more time than we think we do. It's just the fact that we don't spend it wisely, that we use it on things that don't need to be used on if we really want to excel in our side hustle to make that a full-time thing, okay? There is enough time. We all have the same amount of time. And listen, I get it. I feel where you're coming from. Sometimes I feel like there's not enough time, but then I have to reassess and I'm like, but you just watched a whole marathon on Netflix, and there's not enough time. So we have to reassess. I know we all have our different obligations. We all have our different things we have to do, but there is a way to make time. So in this video, I'm going to help you guys relieve some of that stress, some of the anxiety, some of that pressure to think there's not enough time to go after your dreams while you still have a full-time job. Let's hop in. What's up and welcome back to my channel. If you guys are new, welcome. My name is Andrea and I am a visual branding coach teaching you how to build your brand and increase your income online. For the best business and branding tips you can get, be sure you subscribe to my channel right down below. Then also be sure you hit the notification bell. That way you are notified whenever I post. You can get all this content and all this amazing branding goodness, whatever. So my question for you is, how bad do you want it? What would it mean for you to be able to take this side hustle and make it your full-time gig, your full-time job? What would that feel like for you? Put some emotion to that dream. You see what I'm saying? What would it look like for you to go after it 100%? And if you can feel that right now in your spirit and you know, oh, it'd feel amazing, oh, it'd be great, then let me tell you something. There's time. You can make time for it, okay? There's a thing that we say 9 to 5, 5 to 9 life. For me, it's 5 to 11, okay? You have time. And what I want to tell you starting out is that there are going to be sacrifices. With everything, there's always sacrifices. Everything, there's always sacrifices. And so what I'm trying to tell you guys is that there may come up some times where you do have to maybe not spend that whole day, that extra day on vacation. There may be times where you can't go hang out on that Saturday when you want to just mosey around and do whatever. You're gonna have to make the time. For me, when I am doing my YouTube channel, I've done YouTube for 3 to 4 years now, and I've come to this place where I record pretty much every Saturday. Saturdays are my editing day because I am not full-time yet. And when I become full-time, I can film whenever the heck I want to film. But until then, there are some sacrifices that I have to make and that you have to make in order to make it happen. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the steps that I've taken, the steps that I am still taking to be sure that I am making time for my dreams, my side hustle, okay? And so you guys know that right now, I do still have a full-time job. I do also do my side business. I'm a branding coach. I help people build their brands and increase their income online, like I said in the intro. And I do that by leveraging the power of YouTube. And so there's a lot that goes on behind the scenes of that. And it's a lot to run a business. It's a lot to run a business and a brand plus have a full-time job. And I get it. But the thing is, what I want to tell you, it is worth, you can sacrifice a year of not being that available. You can sacrifice a year, okay, in order for the rest of your life to be set up, for the rest of your life to be doing what you want to do. You're gonna have to make some sacrifices. You're gonna come a time, you're gonna have to make a financial sacrifice, a time sacrifice, all types of stuff sacrifice, whatever, an eating sacrifice, whatever, a sleeping sacrifice, whatever you want to say. But there's going to come a time when you have to do that. And I just want to let you guys know that. But the thing is that's not bad. Like, sacrifices aren't necessarily bad. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not necessarily bad. And so it's just depending on how you look at it. In that moment, you have to stay focused. And so what I do is I will put something on my wall and say, Andrea, this is what you promised yourself. Go for it. So yeah, so anyway, you guys, let's hop into the steps. Just wanted to get that little pep talk real quick, but let's hop into the steps real quick. Step number 1 is, how bad do you want it? Like I said before, write down what it is. What is your goal? Why do you want to do it? Who do you want to serve? What would that mean for you? Write that down and stick it where you would see it every single day. Do not put it in your journal and close your journal. Put it somewhere that is in your bathroom, right next when you wake up, in the bed, right next to your vision board. Sorry, I'm like all this different things like pointing, but right next to your vision board, wherever you need to see it every single day, so that you can remember your goal and you can remember that in those times where yes, you had to miss that event on that Wednesday night. Whenever you had to miss that, you can look at your goals and say, but it's only temporary. It's okay. It's gonna happen. But I have to sacrifice now so that I can reap and what I sow in the future. Does that make sense? So write it down and keep it in front of your face. Your goals, your revenue goals, your brand goals, your vision, who you want to serve, why you want to serve them, what that would mean for you, what it would feel like, all of that. Write it down, stick it in front of you, keep it in front of you. So once you have your goals written, let me tell you something else. You want to work backwards, okay? So whenever I'm designing a course or a program, I say, okay, who is my audience? What is their biggest problem? From there, I say, okay, what are the steps I can take to solve that problem? Then from there, I break it down to say, okay, what do I need to provide them to solve this problem that would help this audience? You see what I'm saying? So work backwards in what you need to start doing and start documenting everything. Get a business journal and write all of this down, okay? That's pretty much step number 1. Number 2 is time blocking. This is something that I do all the time. And when I tell you guys, if there's a week that goes by when I don't do it, I feel myself just being so much less productive. What this means is that I will time block. I will tell my future self what I'm supposed to be doing, kind of like I am my boss in the future. And so I will put on my calendar, hey, Andrea, today is editing day. It's also this day. It's also that day. And this is where it comes in handy to have step 1 completed, to have all your goals written down, but then also to have worked backwards. Because if you're building a course, if you're building a program, if you are starting a YouTube channel, whatever it may be, you want to start backwards so that you can know every single step that you need to do to get where you're trying to go. And so what I do with time blocking and do with my calendar blocking is that I go into my Google Calendar, which is great. I have a separate like calendar, which is on my Google Calendar, and it says like to-do list or something, or get this stuff done list or something. I don't know, whatever. And so pretty much I will go on there and I say, okay, Monday, I'm going to do this. Tuesday, okay, editing should happen this day. Wednesday, this is going to happen here. I need to draft this, come up with this content, do this, make a sales call, whatever else needs to happen. But as you guys can see, I want you guys to work backwards and write out every single step that you need to do in order to achieve where you're trying to go. And no, it may not be like a week-long process. It may take longer than that, which is fine. But take the time, and I promise you it will pay off tremendously in the future if you can do this. But then tell your future self what you need to do to get to your goal, okay? Don't just look at your goal up on your wall and say, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have this one day, and have no plan to get there. Like, that's literally craziness. And I get it. I've done it before. And so I empathize with you and I get it. But I'm telling you from experience, be sure that you break your goals down and then add them onto your calendar, time block it, where that way you know exactly the miniature steps, the small steps that it takes to get to that bigger goal. That's going to make your goal seem much more attainable to you and much more doable. So that's step number 2. Hey, and so I should mention, if you are liking this video so far, be sure you check out She's Elite Society. In She's Elite Society, we talk about this stuff all of the time. We talk about brand building. We talk about mindset. We talk about all the things that it takes to run a amazing online brand, to build your brand and to run it and to increase your impact online by leveraging the power of YouTube. That is what we discuss over in She's Elite Society. It is $19 a month right now, and so I highly advise you to go check it out. It is down below in the description box. And yeah, and that way you guys can ask me all the questions. We have weekly live video sessions, Q&A sessions, so you can ask me all the questions, all that good stuff, and we can get more help over there in She's Elite Society. So if you're ready to join the most elite community of brand building, faith-based, motivated women that you can get, be sure you head over to She's Elite Society and check it out. Okay, so number 3 is rest. Y'all, a lot. Sorry. A lot of people underestimate, I literally just cracked myself up. A lot of people underestimate the value of rest. I did a Pamper Day routine on my channel recently that you should check out. I'll put it in the description box or the cards. But y'all, rest is so important. It is literally a commandment, and it is that way for a reason. If God of the universe rested on the seventh day, why don't you think you need to rest, sis? Like, you need to rest, and it's okay. And so you guys are probably like, well, where does rest versus you told me to use my time better, which I did. And so where it comes in for me is that so first and foremost, I take a Sabbath every single week. I take a Sabbath on Sundays. It's usually my Sabbath day, but you can take a Sabbath whatever day you want to do. But in that day, I don't do anything that involves me making any money, okay, at all. If there's anything that's going to result in me making money, I don't do it. Okay. Yes, there's systems that are running behind the scenes that are bringing in income, like videos and programs and stuff like that. But anything, I am off on Saturdays. I don't do anything involving that. Or on Sundays, and that is what I do, and that's my rest day. Also, I have learned to rest while I work, and what that means is that I am not anxious or stressed or like consumed with my work so much where I'm like tense and my shoulders are in my ears, and I'm like, like I don't do that anymore. And I do that simply because I've noticed how that affects your thinking and how that affects you in general. So resting while you work is a really big key and a really big thing to do, because here's the thing, having a full-time job and building a brand, like having a full-time job is a lot, but then building a brand on top of that, or whatever you're doing as a side hustle, is a lot of work. And I get it, and I'm right there with you, kicking it with you. Okay, I get it. And so I'm telling you guys that there is a need for rest. Some days, if you are not feeling it, for me, I have to say for myself, Andrea, today just isn't your day. Like, you will write this content, it's gonna be crap because you just aren't in the right space. And so some days I literally just decide, okay, you know what? I'm gonna take tonight off, and it's gonna be okay. The world's not gonna end. And so I would rather be restful in working than to be working 24/7 and be burnt out and anxious. And so I know that kind of conflicts a little bit with the original point. The original point is simply, let's not say that we don't have any time, but then we're watching Netflix, we're watching 5 episodes of this, and then we're, eating for 3 hours while watching TV as well, and then we're doing all this other stuff. There is time in the day to do it, okay? And there's also time, even if you have kids, and I don't have kids, so I don't know exactly, so listen, shout outs to you. But what I will say is that when your kids go to sleep, maybe look at a time to do that. Get up before they wake up. Even if you don't have kids, like after you get off of work, take some time to eat, to chill, to let your mind rest from working full time, and then go full throttle for it, y'all. Like, I'm telling you, there is time. Okay, for me, I'll work out right after work. Well, I'm trying to start back working out right after work, but you get what my point. But I'll get back home about like 7:30, 7:45, take a quick shower, start working at 8. From 8 to like 11:30, 12 is whenever I am working on stuff, okay? If I don't have that much to do, I will go back and look at my calendar to make sure I hit everything that I was supposed to do in the past days. If I didn't, I'll plug that in. But if I am done, I am done, and I am off, okay? And so that's the great thing about calendar blocking, is that you don't feel like there's always something to do. Today, this is my task. This is what I'm going to do. Boom. And we done, okay? And so anyway, you guys, if you like this video, again, that's all my tips. If you like this video, again, check out She's Elite Society. You're gonna freaking love it. We go in detail about all these topics that are on my channel. We go into even further detail about how to do each and every step and how to do all that good stuff. So check out She's Elite Society. Visit AndreaDenise.com/She's Elite. It is amazing, the most amazing community ever for brand building women who are ready to ignite their passion and really impact the world with what they have inside of them and build the brand of their dreams. So anyway, if you guys are interested, check it out down below in the description box, and I will see you guys in the next video. I love you so much. Oh, also be sure you check out, I do have something down below for you in the description box, so check it out. It is a free gift for you, so check it out down below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye, y'all.